about noon on Friday. We're about to do the Bear Church Rock hike. Pretty deserted area, although small parking lot, so there's not many cars. Get ready to do the hike. They're calling for 60% chance of thunderstorms this afternoon, and you can already hear the thunder rolling in the distance. Of course, I was supposed to start this morning, 9 a.m., get an early start before the heat, and basically be off the mountain before the thunderstorms came through. And then I slept in, and it took forever to drive here. So it is now noon. I am just now starting. Thunderstorms are calling for all afternoon, so likely it'll be a wet one. Hopefully the storms will kind of come and go, and I'll be able to hit shelter while we're there. We're Graves Mill Trail, heading into the Shenandoah. Just getting onto the trail, and there's definitely been some just loud rolling thunder. Skies look pretty good. We'll see how it holds out. All right, we just came up upon the Staunton River Trail. Hopefully I learned something from my Three Falls hike that turned into the Two Falls hike because I didn't read the map. I had really not studied this hike that closely. Printed out the beta, but other than that, hadn't really done the whole turn-by-turn thing. So when I came upon the Staunton River Trail so quickly, I wasn't expecting to have a fork in the road. I didn't realize that the parking area, that was the Graves Mill Trail. I mean, it said it was, but I didn't realize that there was that change so early. Definitely thunder in the background still, so gotta keep an ear out for that. We're gonna hit several high points on this hike, so ideally I can time that between storms, or at least avoid lightning. Planning to go to the radio tower. I may bypass that if we're having lightning, because it's definitely on top of a mountain. Bear Church Rock also on top of a mountain, so not generally things you want to be, places you want to be during a lightning storm. I have to play this one by ear. Neat little stream crossing here. I really like these dense trees, small, just tunnel you in. But definitely one of the more interesting parts of the hike thus far. Kind of like it. So I've definitely seen some rocks. I've yet to see a bear or a church. Got lots of thunder. See how this works out. Alright, I'll admit there's really no reason you have to walk across this log. I just like doing it. Like a giant balance beam in the woods. It moves and shakes. And we're done. For the reason I'm Alright, so part of the reason that I'm not really super prepared for this particular trip is it's been kind of touch and go on whether I was going to actually do this one. 90-some degree high today. It's a bit of a drive. 60% chance of rain. It was kind of back and forth on whether I would do this or do some of the shorter hikes off of Skyline Drive, like St. Mary's Rock and Hawksbill Peak and Stony Man. With those, the upside being that they're short hikes where you can quickly get there, take your pictures, get back, and then if a storm comes through, you're not that far away from shelter. With this particular loop, at its furthest point, I'm going to be 5-ish miles from the car. It's a loop, so there's definitely going to be a point where I'm out on an island that if weather gets really nasty or something like that, it's going to be a less than fun hike home. Starting as late as I did, I do have to worry about darkness. Not so much. If everything goes fine, I'll be off in plenty of time. Won't even be near sunset. But accounting for if I say sprain an ankle or weather gets real bad and I have to hunker down for an hour or two, That's going to push me up against dusk, especially if it's raining or there's overcast. That's going to make it get dark a little faster. So I was kind of on the fence whether I was going to do this up until I pretty much left the house. So it's supposed to be one of those hidden gem hikes. So far it's a very nice trail, very smooth. Uphill is not too bad. I mean, it's 90 degrees, you can feel the heat, but it's not a killer, although I'm definitely gaining some elevation. Got the streams next to me. Part of the reason I chose this hike was because I thought that'd help keep it cool. I'm not sure how much worse this would be if you were out on a rocky summit. Definitely got more shade here. Nice breeze because I'm following the hollow. And I am down in the hollow if storms do come. I'm not necessarily on the high points, at least this initial couple miles. So we'll see how this works out. Maybe I made a good choice, maybe I made a bad choice. Yeah. All right, at this point I've lost the sun and gauged a nice breeze, and while that feels good, that does not bode well for clear weather. Thunder is just continuing to roll through. Big, long, rolling thunder. Lasts a minute or two, probably every 5 minutes. So a lot of thunder. Sun's pretty much gone at this point. Wind is really picking up, so may have to get wet here shortly. I did come prepared. I have waterproof housings for all the cameras and batteries, and Ziploc bags for all the electronics. Myself, on the other hand, I'm just gonna hope I'm pretty waterproof. Not that worried with the temperatures being as high. Not worried about hypothermia. Getting soaking wet on a day like today probably is going to feel pretty good. So we'll see. I'm hiking, so I'm going to be working up sweat. I should stay pretty warm. I do have a Mylar blanket if emergency does happen, or if I need to make a shelter. But pretty much the plan of the day is if it rains, I get wet. Coming up to a fork in the road. Did not bring a watch. I'm going to try to guess at my my orienteering skills here. I'd say I've been hiking for about an hour and a half. I've probably gone 2 miles, maybe 2.5. I'll pull out the GPS here in a second, see how well I'm doing. But this should be the trail up to Jones Trail, Bear Church Rock, and that's 1.2 miles up. And the sag is 4.8. We are going to the sag, so we're going to the sag this way. So we're going to do the 3.1 miles. Actually, parking lot is 2.7, so I underestimated myself by, what did I say, 2 miles? It actually went 2.7 miles. So we're going to stay on here. We're going to go up to the sag. So I got another 3 miles in front of me. We're going to loop back around Jones Mountain Cabin. We're going to hit that. Hopefully we'll have time. Jones Mountain Trail. So it should be fun. So it's going to be 4.8 to the sag. So that means I got, let's call it 5, got 3. So we got 8 miles in front of me. I've done 2.7. So this will be over a 10-mile day. Without I think the radio station adds about a mile to it. So we might be pushing 11, potentially 12 miles today. So I'd only planned for my time estimate on 10. So I have to do the math to figure out how fast we're going. But might be pushing it. Might have to cut some of the stops for video short on the way back. We'll see. I intentionally planned to shoot a lot of the stream stuff on the way back down. That way I'd kind of know where I was time-wise, and kind of would have scouted it a little bit on the way up. Really, other than just casually looking at it, was not paying that close of attention to the streams on the way up. There were a couple falls, looked like there were little trails down to them. So On the way back, we'll see what shots we can get, if I have time to get shots. All right, so we were just at this intersection. This is where the Jones Mountain Trail comes up, and there's Bear Church Rock. So far we've hiked all of this up the Staunton River, and we're going to stay on the Staunton River Trail. This is the sag, so it was from here to there supposed to be 3.1 miles, and then from here around this way was 4.8. So got a little bit of a trail ahead of us. The orange here is up to the radio tower, and then there's the Jones Mountain Cabin, which is also a little offshoot that may add some miles to this. A lot of uphill still ahead of us. I mean, this is going to be not too bad, just kind of following the valley. It should be relatively the same grade that we've been on. We hit the road, so it'll be a smooth, easy hike, and then we're going to go a lot of uphill till we get to the ridge line that Jones Mountain Trail follows. So, gonna take a break, drink some water, make sure my phone isn't dead, and move on. Finished my first water break, just past the intersection with the Jones Mountain Trail. It's taken me about an hour to go to 2.7 miles, which is actually pretty good speed. This is a really smooth trail, uphill, but it's nice gradual uphill. Thunder's still present, but at a much reduced pace. Sun's trying to come back out, so it looks like that first storm that was threatening has moved on. Thunder sounds like it's coming to the from the east of us now, and that it's gone past us. Kind of got a little bit dark to the north, but it's all clearing up right now. Still kind of overcast, and with this much humidity and heat, these little pop-up thunderstorms can kind of come up out of nowhere. So keep an eye on the sky, but as noisy as it's been, it shouldn't surprise anybody when these storms comes through. We're now at the post for the other three-way. If we were to take that trail, it takes us up to the Jones Mountain Trail, which takes us up to Bear Church Rock. But we are going to take this trail, which follows the Staunton River, up to the road and up to the sag. I've devised a new method of measuring solitude on a trail. Number of spider webs you cross. So old rag 0. If you can see this guy, he's working hard away. It's like every 10 feet right now. So apparently everybody gets off at Bear Church Rock, although I was crossing quite a few spider webs even just from the parking area up to here. So this section of trail, much smaller, much less traveled. So quiet here. Thunder's left us. No more stream babbling beside us. So big open mountains. Very peaceful, but getting hit in the face with the spider web is annoying. Still only seen one hiker thus far, just before the intersection with Jones River. So one person per 2.5 miles, not too bad. Still, I just had a little bit of thunder. Nothing like it was, but I kind of expect to have that for the rest of the afternoon. Just a small little trail in the middle of the mountains. Definitely all by herself out here. So much narrower and much less developed than the previous trail that we were on. Some mushrooms eating their way up a dead tree. I just can't get over how just open this whole area is. Not a lot of ground cover, lots of some ferns, but I mean very little brush. You can see just hundreds of yards into the woods. So if there's any wildlife, you're going to see it. But being midday and it being so hot, I'm really not expecting to see anything right now. Possibly towards the end of my hike, when it's getting later in the day, closer to dusk, I'll have more of our woodland friends out to join us. But this is just very clear. Nothing like when I was doing a riprap or some of those other trails where it was just dense undergrowth. This is very, very open. So, trail is still very, very smooth. Pleasant change from the rocky stuff I've been doing along the Appalachian Trail and some of those other areas. This is a nice, smooth, soil underfoot. Makes it really easy on the knees, which my knees appreciate. So they will be sending a thank you note to this trail. I'm quite sure that once I get up in elevation, up on top of Jones Mountain, that it will turn rocky. So I'm definitely enjoying the smooth trail right now. Man, this is easy to hike. Making good time. Lots to see. Looks like we're picking up the stream again. So far, it's been a very enjoyable hike. Little nervous with all the thunder and not enjoying all the heat and humidity. Other than that, it's definitely a nice little hike. Not crowded at all. Nice streams. We're coming up some cascading waterfalls up ahead. I mean, this whole stretch has been nothing but cascades and beautiful little stream. You could spend all day just watching all the little cascades, but fortunately I got to make some miles. But it is a joy to walk through. Just finished a steeper section, and unfortunately it looks like the trend continues up through there. It's a lonely trail. Luckily, you can see the ridge line here. So this used to be a valley. It's now, I'm getting near the top of whatever saddle I'm about to approach. Still a mountain off to the north. He's been with me all day and probably will continue to be. She's coming out of what can only be described as primordial section. I mean, that was just desolate. Really felt like I was probably the only person that's like that in a while. I mean, the trail's there, but man, there is not much to it. So I'm now onto the road. All right, so this is the Fork Mountain Road. Got 1/8 of a mile to the Sag and 1/8 of a mile to the Fork Mountain Trail, Jones Mountain Trail. So more uphill, although this is actually a road, so a little less isolated. Man, it was a little unnerving there. It gets really quiet. Only thing that's there with me are some very annoying bugs and very, very annoying spider webs. So looks like I'll have neither of those. Still going uphill quite a bit. Man, it's taken a toll out of me. That first 3 miles, I think I did in about an hour. The last 2 miles I did in probably 2 hours. So it's definitely slowing down as I've been gaining elevation. Relatively uneventful hike up here to the Sag. For the first time today, I can see skyline pretty much horizontal with me in almost every direction. So that's means I'm on top of something. So this is the gap between two mountains that we're at. So let's see what our Mr. Sign says. All right, so it looks like we have two trails diverging in the wood. This is the Bear Church Rock is 3.6 miles via the Jones Mountain Trail. Staunton River Trail is then 4.8. Or we can go the Fork Mountain Trail and Rapidan Camp and all that kind of fun stuff. Well, we're not going there today, so we are going to start heading our way back. So we got 4.8 back to Staunton River, and I believe it was what, 3 miles after that. So we still have 7. We still got 8 miles ahead of us. It's gonna be a long day. I'm going to drink some water, check the time. At this point, radio is out. I don't have the energy or the time to try to trudge up another mountain. So, and we're still with 8 miles ahead of me. I think I'm doing my math right. It's definitely been a hot, tiring day thus far. So I've already gone 6 miles, 8 in front of me. That's gonna be a 14. That seems too far, but who knows? Doing math when you've just climbed a mountain is not the best. All right, battery's about to die. Gotta swap it out, recharge my own batteries, and then get back to it. It's a neat little section following the ridge line here. Lots of rhododendron or laurel, one of the two. I'm not an expert in the plants, but got a little overcast and kind of tunneled in, so it looks really interesting. Bazillion spiderwebs still, so definitely on the Solitude side. Kind of on the ridge where I can see sky pretty much in every direction. So I'm up on top of the mountain. This is the short section before I hook up with the Jones Mountain Trail. Just a nice, quiet mountaintop trail right now. Pretty wide, pretty open, nice, smooth, not rocky at all. So that's definitely a plus. Not something I'm used to. Oh, spider webs everywhere. So the hope that I was at the top of the mountain has been dashed. It's been pretty steep uphill. This is only about a 1 mile section, and it started off nice and flat, but it quickly turned up. I'm getting what I have to believe is near the top because I'm seeing the sky break through. I also invented the anti-spider web. I move this in front of me in the trail and it wipes out all the spider webs. Now, I was of mixed opinion of spider webs. I hate bugs more than I hate spiders, so therefore, the spiders are going to eat the bugs. I want the spiders to win. But it was like every 5 feet there was a large web across the trail, and it was really slowing me down to try to avoid or just not eating all the spider webs. So for that reason, the spider webs be damned. We're going to continue to walk on a clear trail, sans the spider webs. The spiders will just have to learn to build their webs not across the middle of the trail. You can build it to the side of the trail, you can build it above the trail, just not across the trail. Sorry, spiders. Keep eating those bugs though. My patented spiderweb removal tool has done its job and allowed me to pick up the pace. I've now joined up with the top of the Jones Mountain Trail. All right, whacking out spiderwebs left and right. So this is the Cat Knob Trail if I go that way, which would take me over to Skyline Drive, and the Appalachian Trail. Nothing on this side. Here's the important side because it tells me that Jones Mountain Trail to the right is that way. So I should make good time. I haven't checked the clock. It was about a mile or two ago, so 3:30, 4 o'clock. Got about 4 hours of daylight left if I'm really pushing it. Unfortunately, I have 6 or 7 miles still ahead of me. Downhill miles, so it's good. Been averaging 45-minute miles going up, so at least that gets me in the 2 mile an hour down. So assuming 8 miles, that puts me right at the 4 hours. So I'm gonna be maybe getting out of here at darkness. I did come prepared. I have 2 flashlights and a battery backup that also has a flashlight on it. So actually I have 3 sources of light. Oh, this is why you don't walk and talk at the same time. So this is pretty typical of what I've been walking on for the last couple miles. This is Jones Mountain Trail, and it's a mountaintop. You're on the ridge line, so you can see both sides, and it's really open. A lot of tall trees, not much underbrush. You can see quite a ways. Since we've seen a few signs of bears, but have not seen any wildlife yet. Still have not seen any humans since about mile 2. So it's a lonely, quiet place up here. Beginning to get a few little afternoon bangers, so we've been without thunder for quite a while. So hopefully my luck with the weather holds up, since I'm now on top of the mountain. However, everything should be either flat or downhill from this point forward. A neat little formation here, but honestly I'm beat at this point. I'm quickly running out of daylight. I got 2, maybe 3 hours left. Still not to Bear Church Rock, unless this is it, but I don't think it is. So definitely running out of gas. There's been a couple uphill sections that have just, stopped me cold. I just don't have any gas left in the tank. Starting to really get worried about the whole darkness thing. I do have light, so it's not not the end of the world, and it's not like it's going to magically get pitch dark at sunset. And we'll have some twilight time there. But I'd really like to get down off this mountain before it gets both dark and cold. I am soaked with sweat right now. Got very little energy left, so don't want to say it's as dire a survival mode, but I would. Shit. Spider webs. Alright, got my spider web removal tool back up. Alright. At this point, I'm past the proverbial point of no return. It's definitely shorter to keep moving forward, so that's what I'm gonna do. The detour to Jones cabin will not happen unless I have to use that as some type of a shelter, which I prefer really not to do. But it's been threatening with a lot of thunder here in the last couple of minutes. It sounds like it's all to the east of us, but it's kind of hard to tell. It's super hazy out, kind of overcast. I'm not sure what that's going to turn into. All right, I'm going to sign off and try to put some miles between me and, or try to close the gap between me and the car. All right, so I was expecting a trail to pull off to the right, and this appears to be it. I just came from there. There's a trail that definitely goes down that way, and then there's a trail that appears to continue on this way. And maybe it's just to an overlook, I can't tell. We'll see. Not marked at all. It appears it is the infamous Bear Church Rock, notable for not having bears churches, but it does have a rock. Kind of followed that stream all the way up into, I don't know where exactly the saddle is, or the sag, I guess, but basically all the way up into there, and then I've basically followed this ridge line all the way to here. So covered some ground, definitely. If memory serves, it's 4 miles from here to the car. A little overcast right now, so it's kind of hard to tell where the sun is. It's 5:30, which means 6:30, 7:30. Got 2 good hours of daylight and 1 bad hour of daylight, or 1 good hour but of bad daylight. Oh man! So 3 usable hours before it's pitch dark. I got 4 miles, 3 hours. It should be doable, even at my current slow pace. Even on the downhills, they're so steep that I just can't get any speed going. Although, from coming in, the first 3 miles were that nice, smooth, gradual uphill, which I was covering that about, on the uphill side, I covered the 3 miles in about an hour. So going downhill, it'll be at least that fast. So that really, oh man, I'm still covered in spiders from all this trekking. So that really, if I can do that last 3 miles in, we'll call it an hour, that really means I have about a mile and a half that I've got to do in the next 2 hours. So it's doable. It's going to be a pretty steep downhill from what I can tell, because I have not really given up any of that ground that I've been making up all day. So I'm at the marker. Jones Mountain Cabin is 0.3 miles and down that trail, and the Staunton River Trail, which is what began our journey, is only 0.7 miles away. So it's definitely starting to get dark. I got 0.7 of relatively steep, you know, that's what I got to go down in 0.7. So definitely gonna have a lot of downhill to do. I'm looking forward to getting down on that Staunton River Trail, if for no other reason than I've already walked it and several other people have walked it, and it should have a lot less spiders, because it is just crazy the number of spiders on this trail. All right, heading down. So the best part of my patented trail spider web removal tool is it is 100% biodegradable, and all you have to do is just chuck it and it is gone and returned to the wild. So gluten-free, 99% effective, and available in a forest near you. All right, we are back at the junction. Trying to do a little math here. So from the parking, it is 2.7 miles. So that's what we did coming in. Then we did the 3.1 to the sag, which means that we are at 5.8 total. Then it is, from this side, we know that the sag is 4.8. So 5.8 plus 4.8 is 11.2. And then I've got to go this is I think what I was missing last time. I'm not counting the 2.7 back. So 11.2 plus 2 plus 7 is 0.9, 13 points. So that's almost a 14-mile day. How I calculated that was 8, I don't know. Other than I think I only counted this lollipop leg once. Anyhow, 14 miles. I got 2.7 left, but it's this easy downhill smooth track that I've already taken once. So the whole plan of stopping and getting shots of the river, yeah, that is not happening today. I'm running out of daylight, energy, batteries, you name it, plus the will to film. But overall, good hike. Spiders were just crazy. I will have to figure out a time of year to do this when there are fewer spiders, either later in the winter or early spring. I'm not sure what the best time of year is. And so ends a very, very, very long day. Haven't looked at the watch yet, but started at noon. I'm guessing it's at least 7. Definitely put some miles on the trail today. Thinking back to my moment of despair with the rocks on the top of the mountain, where the boulder foundation, and I was really out of energy. I really didn't recover any energy. It was pretty much just downhill, relatively smooth trail. That's what got me here. Had it been a rough downhill or any further, I would have been out of luck. So we're here, calling it a day.